Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed building video. So today I'm back and building in Strangerville. So this is my second video that I've done since the Strangerville pack has been released, and I actually said in my last speed building video, which was on Sunday, that I kind of wanted to steer away from doing Strangerville builds because there is so many cool renovations and builds at the minute set in Strangerville, and I kind of felt like whatever I was building, there was just something similar to it, and I kind of wanted to do something a little bit different. So in my last speed build I said that I was going to kind of steer away from Strangerville for a little bit, just because there's only so many bar renovations and library renovation and just house buildings that you can watch in the same style. In my personal opinion, I think they're all absolutely great, but I just kind of wanted to do something new and kind of fresh amongst all of the kind of similar videos, and so that's why in my last video I did decide to do something completely different. But I actually am back and building in Strangerville, if you can't tell already. So basically I really wanted to do a commercial lot in Strangerville, but there's so many bars, like I said, so many bars and library renovations videos on YouTube at the minute, and I just kind of wanted to do something different. I didn't feel inspired enough to build a bar or a library. I have kind of got an idea for the library, but I kind of want to leave it a little bit, just so I don't want to get round to that yet. I'll do that at a later date. I have got an idea for it, but I'm just not in the right mood, if that makes any sense, to build a library yet. I just kind of want to get stuff that I want to do at that current time. I don't really want to start building a library and not actually be fully into it and committed into building the library if I'm not 100% in it. I know that sounds really weird, but I don't know, I just want to build something that I really enjoy building, and if I build something that I feel like, oh, I don't know if I'm sure about this or whatever, I don't feel like my build is going to be very good. So that's kind of why I've left doing the bars and the library for a minute. I'll do them eventually when I want to, but for the minute I'm going to leave them. But I did want to add another commercial lot to Strangerville. So in the world we have 11 lots, and I think there's only two commercial lots, and then the secret lab, which is kind of like a commercial lot, but it's not somewhere that your Sims can go and hang out and stuff. So technically there's only really two commercial lots in the Strangerville world, and I wanted to add some more. I wanted my Sims to be able to go to Strangerville and not just have to go to the bar or the library. I wanted them to do something different, and so I was kind of looking around the lots, and I haven't properly explored every single part of Strangerville. I kind of went in, did my build, which I think the pack was released on the Tuesday, and on the Tuesday night I did the build, and then I uploaded it on the Wednesday, and then I went through the gameplay and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to spoil it because, I mean, some people might have not played through it yet, and the game's not out for console yet, and I don't want to spoil it for anyone, so I'm not going to say about the storyline or anything like that, don't worry. But I kind of just did the storyline and didn't really explore the world in full detail. I haven't even been up to the Victorian part of the world. I think there's 5 lots up there. I haven't even been up there in my own gameplay. I've seen it on Twitter and I've seen other YouTube videos in it, but I just haven't explored it myself yet. So when I was kind of going around and looking, I actually looked at I think it's called the old Penelope lot, which there was a crashed plane site on this lot, and the story was that the pilot was flying over Strangerville and there was a storm or something, and the crane plashed. The crane plashed. Wait, I still can't say it. The plane crashed. There we go. And the person kind of just stayed there and just kind of set up camp and now lives in the bunker. I liked that, but I felt like that lot where the plane was on could be something commercial, and so that's where I'm building this on. So it's a 50 by 40 lot, I believe. I might be wrong, but I think I remember seeing it as 50 by 40. It's quite a big lot, and it's actually not near the road at all. It's actually kind of in the middle of the sandy part of the desert. And so it was kind of difficult trying to figure out what I was actually going to put here. And then I don't know what actually sparked the thought of it, but then I kind of just imagined maybe like a really old school kind of diner just on the edge of Strangerville. So you're kind of driving out of Strangerville and there's like a little diner that you can go and sit into, or if you're driving into Strangerville, there's a little diner you can go and sit into. And I just thought it was a perfect kind of lot for Strangerville, especially like a kind of diner. It just kind of matches with the theme, in my opinion. I just thought it was a really, really cool idea. And I have actually tried building a kind of diner before, but this was before I had my channel and it wasn't that great. It's not even on the gallery. I think I just outright deleted it because I wasn't very happy with it. So it was definitely a challenge because I faced some stuff that I remember with last time, and just it was a challenge, but I actually really, really enjoyed it, and it's something that I wanted to do for a really, really long time. And I feel like with Strangerville we've got so many objects which complemented the diner so well. I know the build and buy isn't the biggest build and buy that we've ever got with a game pack, but some of the stuff is actually really, really useful, especially for a diner. So I was really, really happy with the build and buy objects because I got to use quite a lot of them, like definitely a good half of them in this build. Not kind of like the sciencey kind of objects, more like the general kind of objects, which I really, really enjoyed. But yes, that's just kind of what inspired me to do this build. I know I said I was going to stay away from doing Strangerville, but I just kind of got inspired by it, and so I decided that I was just going to build it today, and then I might come back to Strangerville in the future. I'll probably have my next video not be in Strangerville. I'm not actually sure. If I'm inspired to build something in Strangerville, I will build something in Strangerville. But for the minute, I just kind of wanted to build this because I was heavily inspired at the time. And I just thought it was a really, really cool lot to have in Strangerville. And it definitely brings more restaurants into the world, or just in the Sims world in general. In my personal gameplay, I've only got a few. And so having a location which is perfect for a diner, it's just really ideal. I feel like a lot of teenagers will want to come here and just like have it as a hangout spot. Something from like Riverdale. I was really inspired by Riverdale with this build. It's just, I was inspired by the building of Pox, which is the diner in Riverdale. And so I definitely took inspiration whilst I was building this from the actual diner, because it's an actual diner, which I didn't know until I researched it a little bit. It is an actual real diner and it's in Vancouver, I believe. So yeah, but anyway, as you can see, I've kind of got the build set out how I wanted, and because it is on a 50 by 40 lot, there is so much space, and I could not build a 50 by 40 diner that was just, well, I mean I could, but it wouldn't look very nice. So I kind of went in and I kind of set out what I imagined would actually be the lot kind of size, and then I kind of went around and just landscaped similar plants to like the ones that was like next to the lot, to try and make it look blended in as if like the lot was a little bit smaller than it was, because I really could not build a diner that size, but I think it actually matches quite well. The only thing is though, with Strangerville, we got a lot of like new objects, but we didn't get any new plants, which is really, really frustrating, because there's so many new cactuses and just really, really cool plants in the game, and unfortunately we don't have access to them, which is really annoying. So there is some cactuses around the lot which aren't actually in this lot, and that is just because we do not have access to them, which is actually a massive shame, but it's fine. I felt like I made it work, and yeah, I'm just really, really happy with the way this build turned out. So as you can see, I've now just moved in onto the interior, and I do actually want to point out, so when I was building this, I finished building this and then kind of went to the end, and then for some reason at the end I decided to change the colour palette of the whole build. Originally I put a green paneling down, And then at the very end, I just had this thought and I was like, I don't like it. So I changed it to a lilac-y purple kind of colour. And you would have already seen that because I didn't want to confuse anyone and kind of have that at the end of the video, because I know that might be really annoying. I know personally, if I watch someone and they do something like that, I kind of get annoyed. So please don't get annoyed. I actually cut that bit of footage in just before I moved into the interior, just because I didn't want you to go out for the whole video thinking that the diner was green when it was actually purple. But yeah, so if you see some like green paneling, that is why I actually did it at the end. So I'm really sorry that I'm not the most professional person, but I don't know, I just had a kind of change of heart at the end of building this, and I just felt like the purple went better than the green. So yeah, but yeah, anyway, so now I'm just moving in and doing this massive big bar area out, and I've just skipped along and I'm doing this kind of, this wall took me so long. So basically I wanted there to be a wall in this diner which had loads of just cluttered paintings and wall objects together, and I actually really like the way it turned out, but it took me the longest time, and it took me so long I literally would not have been able to keep it in because it would have added an extra like 5 minutes onto the video, and I felt like it was a little bit too boring, and so I cut it out. But if you do like that kind of stuff, let me know, because I don't know, I personally would find that a little bit boring, just watching someone scrolling through the build and buy thing for like 10 minutes. I'd rather just kind of see the end result, which is kind of what I've done. But if you would like me to kind of keep that kind of stuff in the future, let me know and I will. Just for the minute, I don't really know what people's approach on it is. I don't know if people care or whatnot, but I decided to cut it out just so it was a little bit of a shorter video, just so you didn't have to watch for it all. But you can kind of see it here. It's just kind of, it's got like medals on, and it's got a lot of bowling alleys. Is it bowling alley or bowling night? I'll never actually know. I feel like every time I reference the bowling pack in my videos, I always say bowling alley or bowling night, because I always get confused which one it is. I can never remember which one it is. I don't know why that is, but it's just one of them things that I just always forget. But there's a lot of bowling stuff in this kind of build, just because I imagined it was kind of like an American kind of diner and the owner loved bowling or something like that, I don't know. But I just thought that the bowling pack went really well with this build, and Get Famous actually goes perfectly with this build as well. I think it's because a lot of the Get Famous items are quite mid-century, and I think the Get Famous pack, the Dine Out pack, and the Bowling Alley pack just go really nicely with this build. And I know I just said Dine Out because obviously it's a restaurant, but we have the booths that we got with Dine Out, and I've never used them in a restaurant before. I've used them in my old diner build, which I've never uploaded, so they're basically fresh on this channel. I've never used them on my channel before, and they're just the perfect thing for a diner, just having like a little booth section and stuff. And half of the diner, so one side of the diner is a lot of like booths, so like corner booths and stuff, and the other side is more like a booth opposite a booth, not so much a corner booth, if you know what I mean. Just if you've got a group, you can go to like the corner booth, or if you're just going with one friend or two friends or whatever, you can go to like the singular kind of booths. I just thought it would be nice to have a mix of both of the chairs, instead of just keeping it to the single one. But yeah, so anyway, so now I'm just moving on and doing the kitchen. And I know we don't really use the kitchens in restaurants, they're kind of pointless, but I still thought I had to add a kitchen because like you need some realism in it. You can't just have a load of ovens and stoves and no fridge. So I did add a very small kitchen. I wanted to kind of make the most of the space that I had in the diner, and that's why I kind of have it so skinny, like a skinny rectangle, because I wanted the bar area to be quite big, because I imagine lots of waitresses like not live behind there, but like work behind there at a time and all that kind of stuff. So there is a kitchen area and it has got a fridge, but it's very small. But now I'm just moving on and just doing the bathroom. I actually did basically like one big bathroom, but with 4 separate toilets with 4 separate cubicle doors, just to make it, I don't know, just because I felt like if I did like one toilet at the end, like one bathroom at the edge of the lot and then the other at the other edge, I just preferred it like this way. And like everyone can use the toilet. It's nothing like that. I just feel like it's better with this way. It's a little bit more realistic as well in terms of how toilets normally go. But yeah, but anyway, so now I'm just finishing up, and I'm just putting some like the host station and the waitress station and all that kind of stuff, and some single dining tables, just because it was one of the requirements. And so I just added 2 of them in the middle of the room, and I felt like it actually just brought it together completely by adding them. But yeah, but anyway guys, we have reached the end of today's video. As always, I hope you enjoyed watching me build this American style diner, and as always, if you do like my content, then please subscribe, and hopefully I will see you in my next speed building video. Bye guys.